which a chase in itself makes for a dangerous situation. That is doubly dangerous when the person behind the wheel is suspected of driving under the influence.
Let's go up to Gordon Spencer in Sky 9 to tell us more. Gordon, what do you know so far?
Well, so far, like you mentioned, Susie and Elsa, that this pursuit started in Orange County around the 405, 605. It is headed northbound right now. We have heard, you can see a CHP unit in pursuit. We have heard that he has reached speeds up to 100 miles an hour. Obviously very dangerous, any type of pursuit, but it's continuing here northbound on the 405, and there is no sign that this suspected drunk driver is going to slow down.
Right now, what does it look like to you, Gordon, on the 405? He is heading north. It looks like at this point in the freeway, it's pretty clear right now.
Yeah, it is. It started about 10 o'clock, and obviously we're in the 10 o'clock hour, so traffic is a bit lighter just past Santa Monica Boulevard. You can see fairly light traffic. One unit keeping its distance behind this suspect, and he continues to stay in this carpool lane as we try to follow him, continue at very, very high speeds here.
And it looks like he's going, let's see, if he's in Culver City right now, he could be going up to the area near the west side, the West LA side, of course, and hooking up with the 101 freeway at some point if he continues on the northbound 405. Gordon, any idea if this suspected drunk driver has any passengers?
No, nothing we have heard from CHP at all on details as far as that goes. We've just heard them talk about the speeds and how dangerous he has been traveling. You can see that he's traveling much faster than the regular traffic there. And it is good to see the 405 fairly empty as we see him weave over a couple of lanes. Look like he might be wanting to get over, although he's driving very erratic right now, going back and forth, one lane to another. So making it even more dangerous if he does come across any traffic. We see a couple of cars now coming into the picture. He's back over into the carpool lane now.
It looks like maybe, possibly, he was going to take an opportunity to get off the freeway. He wasn't necessarily weaving around any cars at that point when he pulled all the way over to the right lane, but now he's back in the carpool lane, and hopefully it remains pretty clear as he continues north on the 405 freeway, cutting through the west side now, just passed through Culver City. Any idea where you are right now, Gordon?
Yeah, sorry, here listening to the scanners right now. He's headed to around Sunset Boulevard right now. About 90 miles an hour is what CHP is saying right now. You can see they have the night sun on him following this suspect as he continues to increase in speed. There he's out of the HOV lane now to pass that car.
So he's going 90 miles an hour past Sunset, going north on the 405. He's about to go over the hill and head over towards the 101 freeway there, that split. Hopefully there's not a lot of traffic there, because at any given time when you do go over that hill to that interchange, a lot of the times the traffic can stop because people are trying to merge onto the 101 or get off on Sepulveda or continue on the 405 northbound. That's a pretty tricky area right there.
That's right. And, you know, it's a good thing that this is at night right now, not during the day, during heavy traffic hours time, because Elsa, as you know, that Sepulveda over the pass, that can get very highly traffic area at any given time of the day, and looks like it's pretty light right now. Gordon, any idea if this driver at any point did in fact exit the freeway, or has this been on the freeways the entire time on the 405 near the 605? Is that where it actually began, and has it stayed that way?
Yeah, Susie, I think it pretty much did start on the 405 at the 605. They attempted to pull this driver over and obviously did not yield to the officers, and that's when the pursuit began, and he has just continued northbound here on the 405. You can see the unit pull out a little bit. You can see the unit keeping his distance. He's pulling way back. He hasn't really closed in, sort of keeping a safe distance to this driver.
Right, they don't want to put too much pressure on him, hoping that maybe he'll come to his senses. Is he the only patrol car? Is that CHP the only patrol car right now following this driver? In addition to the helicopter, obviously, that has a spotlight on him.
Right. Let me see if I can pull out a little more and see. There's a couple of units you can see behind, but they're all keeping their distance.
You know, what we're noticing right now is that this driver is wanted for suspected drunk driving, but as faster as he or she is going, it doesn't look like they're swerving much, Elsa.
No, except for that one time where it looked like he may be trying to consider getting off the freeway at that point, but then quickly went back over to the carpool lane. He's covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time. This pursuit started at the 405 and 605 interchange, roughly near Cal State Long Beach. Reported speeds of 100 miles an hour at times. Right now, CHP is reporting at last check, he's doing roughly about 90. Because of the lack of traffic, he's been able to go pretty far in a very short amount of time.
That's right, and looks like we're not sure where this is right now. Maybe, Gordon, you can tell us where this is first before we talk about the split with the 101 freeway. Are we near there?
Yes, Susie, just past Skirball Center Drive. So he's continuing to make his way through the pass here. So, yes, he is approaching that area. Again, very light traffic, which is good for this pursuit, although still very dangerous, still in the 90-mile-an-hour range right now. And you just don't know what this person is thinking right now. That's the most dangerous part of this pursuit. If it is true that this is a suspected drunk driver, his state of mind might not be completely all there. As we see him braking now.
Yeah, it's
we see his brakes come on as we come up. It looks like there's some traffic.
I know there's
dangerous in that area.
Now we see
oh yeah,
lights.
because there is construction in some of those areas around the Skirball Center on some of the on-ramps and off-ramps to the 405. But he doesn't appear to be getting off, so that may not be a factor. But there could be construction in that area too.
All right, it looks like he or she did not take the 101 freeway. Looks like this driver is still northbound the 405 freeway, continuing on.
Looks like now they're going to be cutting through that area, cuts through the Van Nuys area.
Yep, that was just Sherman Oaks we saw there. That was the Sherman Oaks Galleria on the right-hand side.
He'll eventually be cutting through the Van Nuys area if he continues on the 405 freeway. And if he continues long enough, the 405 eventually dumps into the 5 freeway, and he'll be heading north once he makes his way through the North Valley into the Santa Clarita Valley, into the Newhall Pass eventually.
Yeah, and intermittently we've been noticing during this pursuit that the driver has been turning his or her lights off and on, which is interesting because we notice that a lot of suspects do this initially in a pursuit so that he or she may not be seen, I guess, well by police officials or CHP officials. But it looks like they're kind of turning it on and then off again. But it looks like they're on right now.
Hey, Gordon, how does the traffic look to you at this point? I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're right. He has been intermittently turning lights on and off. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And some of the erratic driving, changing lanes.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the traffic situation looks like now there where he is on the 405.
Yeah, he kind of got through that area where you mentioned there is construction through that area. I know the speeds are down to 55 miles an hour along that stretch. And we can see a few more cars here in this area. But the HOV lane continues to be pretty clear as he kind of splits the lane there and moves over.
If you
lights on and off, we've seen it brake a couple of times.
Eventually,
I'll pull out just to let you see the units.
Eventually, that carpool lane, if I remember correctly, runs out maybe close to San Fernando Boulevard as he's going northbound there, and eventually when it merges into the 5 freeway. But then the 5, when he comes up to the 5, he's going to have a huge interchange there between the 210 freeway going east. He's going to have a choice to.
And just to recap, if you're just joining us here on KCAL 9 News at 10, we are following a CHP pursuit right now that started in Orange County near the 405 and 605 interchange.
Thank you.
It went north on the 405 through West LA, and the driver chose to take the 405 freeway and not the 101. And here we are on the 405 freeway past Van Nuys right now.
CHP has been telling us that this driver had reached speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. Dropped down to roughly 90 miles per hour the last time we checked. Gordon Spencer and Sky 9 is tracking this driver now, still going through the North Valley. Is that correct, Gordon?
Yes, that's correct. He's still continuing northbound at some very high rates of speeds. We've heard it anywhere from 100 miles an hour down to 75 miles an hour, but really no sign of him wanting to get over, he or she in this vehicle, and you can see those speeds very fast. I mean, we're tracking them pretty fast here in the chopper. And the CHP units, we have not seen them really change the way they're tracking him. They've kept their distance, just following him, just waiting to see what he might do. You can see that night sun on him in that really dark area here of the 405, really lighting up that vehicle.
North Hills right now, this driver, the original want was for a suspected drunk driving. We're not sure if that's still the case right now. It looks like he or she is driving very fast, but we haven't seen him or her swerving. We do know at this point that the original want, again, suspected drunk driving. Gordon, have you heard anything else about what else is going on?
No, CHP not really giving any more details on the driver at all. They've just kind of been tracking his location and letting all the units know the speed that he's reaching and where he is. He's approaching Nordoff right now.
Okay, and eventually, just to give you a sense, if you're not too familiar with the North Valley area, he's going to be approaching Northridge pretty soon here, and the 405 is eventually going to dump into the 5 freeway. It's going to narrow for a bit as cars pass under a tunnel and come up to a decision on whether or not they want to take the 210, the 14, or continue on the 5. But once he gets past the Newhall Pass, and actually in the Newhall Pass, he's going to encounter quite a few big rigs. And there's also construction in that area right now, too, along the Newhall Pass as well. So that's going to get a little tricky for him if he or she makes it up that far.
And Gordon, it looks like the driver just passed an interchange. Was that the 5 freeway there?
Is getting close, not quite.
Was that the 118?
Still listening to the CHP on giving the location on everything as well and the speeds. There you see Mission Boulevard is what he just passed.
Okay, so that would be the 118 that he just passed. Okay, if you're just joining us, police, CHP, were in pursuit of someone they tried to pull over for suspected drunk driving. The driver reportedly took off at around the 405, 605 area, which is close to Cal State Long Beach, and has engaged the CHP in a pursuit ever since, has covered a lot of ground in this past, 20 or so, 30 minutes that we've been following him. He's made it from that area all the way now to past the 118 and the 405 freeway cutting through the North Valley. That's right. And we were talking about some of the dangers from earlier on the 405 freeway, especially in the Sepulveda Pass when you're going down that hill. We all know, driving here in Southern California, that driving at this rate of speed is very dangerous in itself. But when you have cars around you, it's a good thing this evening that the traffic is very light out there, Gordon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking out the window and I see about 4 units tracking. I'll see if I can give you a shot of that. Again, pretty open freeway right now as he goes under the under that little interchange there. But you can see there's 4 units kind of keeping their distance. Again, they have not changed the way they're pursuing this vehicle. They've kept their distance, but the speeds continue to be very, very high here as we really reach deep into the valley here. Boy, I guess the only thankful thing or CHP could be thankful for right now is the fact that there is not a lot of traffic putting more people in danger from this person engaging in this pursuit now.
Yeah, especially if this person is wanted for suspected drunk driving. We don't know if that's still the case or was the case even, but that's the original want that we heard from the CHP. Gordon, do we know where this driver is right now? We know Sylmar, but still on the 405?
Still on the 405.
Well, I believe that is where the 405 turns into the 5 freeway. So right there is where it changes now into the 5 northbound. So that looks like where he is continuing right now.
You are correct. He is now he is on the 5 now.
Okay, and if he keeps
passing
going,
the 210.
Okay, passing the 210.
This is that interchange I was talking about where there's the 210 eastbound, the 14 freeway he could take into Canyon Country.
And the 5.
And the 5 freeway right now.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, well, Gordon deals with some issues here. That's why sometimes you hear him talking to other people.
Construction.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure he establishes a signal and also do what he needs to do as far as flying and keeping in proper airspace. So that's what you're hearing sometimes when you hear Gordon talking to other people. But
102.
so there, this driver goes along the northbound 5 freeway, passing that interchange where all of those freeways connect, the 210, the 14, the 5 freeway.
Yeah, and approaching the Newhall Pass right now, and we know at some point this driver has to run out of gas. Now, they've been going since Orange County, which is a good at least 50 miles from where this point is right now, where the driver is right now. If he or she keeps on going, at some point, these CHP officers will catch up with him or her.
We could only hope that this person runs out of gas before they hurt someone or cause a serious accident. But in the meantime, at least 4 CHP patrol cars are tailing behind this driver, keeping their distance, not wanting to spook the driver or force the driver to do anything beyond what they're doing right now, trying to keep this under control as that driver leads them northbound on the 5 freeway, now at the Newhall Pass.
Yeah, and he or she has been going pretty much north this entire time, north on the 405, north on the 5, through the Newhall Pass right now, going through it right now. And it looks like he or she is going to be in the Santa Clarita area very soon.
Just heard that he passed the 14 freeway, so Canyon Country and those areas, that direction, are not going to be an option for him, at least at this point anyway.
And he or she can go for so far again with you know, a full tank of gas. Who knows? We don't know how he or she started with a full tank or half a tank. We don't know that at this point, but we're going to keep watching this pursuit as the CHP is in pursuit with someone with a possible DUI suspect. We don't know at this point. But this all started in Orange County earlier this evening near the 605 and 405 freeways.
This driver is eventually going to come out of the Newhall Pass into Valencia. If they continue on the northbound 5 freeway past Valencia, they are going to continue. There's not too much more after that. They're going to pass, I believe, if they continue on the 126 that cuts over to Ventura.
That's right.
That is a possible option if they continue going. You know what's out there. They get into Gorman. And the Grapevine, Castaic, and continuing on to the Grapevine. Hopefully they don't have enough gas or determination to take it that far.
And that's also where the roads really get narrow there, near the Grapevine.
And lots of big rigs.
That's true. So hopefully they'll take some precaution, or CHP officers will take some precaution in pursuing this man or woman. Gordon, do you have an update for us right now?
Well, you mentioned earlier he is on the 5 now. He passed the 14 a few miles ago, but you can see very, very scarce as far as traffic goes out here. Getting very dark as well. We saw the CHP unit get a little closer a few minutes ago. There he passes Lyons Boulevard. We saw the CHP getting a little closer, but now they just mentioned he's approaching 100 miles an hour again. So the speeds continue to be dangerous, and there's no sign that, I mean, he's pretty much stayed in the 1 and 2 lanes the entire time.
Well, let's hope that he doesn't get any ideas to make some quick moves, because at those high speeds, anything can happen in an instant. But again, it looks like the CHP is still keeping their distance, right, Gordon? But they do have the helicopter spotlight on him, and they do have at least 4 patrol cars tailing safely behind.
Yeah, this driver around the Magic Mountain area right now, if you're familiar with Six Flags Magic Mountain, and it looks like the CHP unit is approaching a little closer.
Yeah, he's closing in just a little bit, but this driver now has moved away from the far left lanes, the carpool lane in the far left lane now, and it's moved over, if I can see correctly, or at least did for a little bit. Gordon, can you see? You have a little bit of a better vantage point of where that driver is now?
Yeah, we just passed Lyons Boulevard coming up on Magic Mountain.
Okay.
And you're right, the CHP unit did close in a few miles back, but now they continue to keep their distance on. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, we know you've got
the plates out of the car's registered in Texas, so they just identified that, but they do not know the number of passengers in the vehicle as we just passed. Or Valencia Boulevard is about a mile away now from this this pursuit.
Right, so he's at about McBean and the 5 freeway if he's coming up to Valencia Boulevard. I believe the exit after Valencia is Magic Mountain Parkway, which is where Magic Mountain is. You said the car has Texas plates. Anything beyond that? Do they think this car is stolen, or would they have known that already?
Yeah, still not a lot of detail. They're just slowly getting pieces of information. Again, they're just saying 90 to 100 miles an hour, but no details on how many occupants there might be in the vehicle. Just could be 1, could be 2 or 3. But again, and we haven't seen any more lights on and off. We saw that a little earlier. They were shutting off those lights on that car. So this pursuit has gone now a good distance from the 405, 605 now onto the 5 freeway near Magic Mountain Parkway, and no change as far as the speeds go. 90 to 100 miles an hour sustained, and CHP show you still keeping about the same distance that they have during this entire pursuit.
I can tell you a couple of exits from now where he is, there is a CHP office, and I don't know if we're able to find out, and maybe they won't tell us because this might be part of strategy, but if there is a way that they can somehow anticipate this guy coming towards them or girl coming towards them and do some kind of intervention, spike strip, something, but they are coming up to a CHP office there off the 5 freeway once he passes Magic Mountain Parkway.
That's right, and CHP officers, we know this, that they always have safety in mind first and foremost, whether it be for the public at large and people driving around this driver. Now, earlier we told you that this driver is wanted for possible drunk driving. We haven't seen any erratic driving really, but we have seen driving at really high speeds, and this is exactly what's happening right now as we just passed Magic Mountain in Castaic right now. This is a stretch of road, Elsa, you were talking about, where it gets really narrow and it also starts to get dark. So it's going to be very hard for us to keep our eye on this, but we do know that we have some lights above from the choppers, whether it be CHP as well as ours. So we'll just keep following this as much as we can, as far as we can, right now in Castaic.
Maybe we haven't seen so much erratic driving because there's just not a lot of traffic. Thankfully for the other people, the innocent drivers who are around this person, I'm glad to see that, but he's still traveling at speeds of 100 miles an hour, which is a danger to everyone on that freeway who is out there tonight. Where is he at now, Gordon? You getting any updates?
Yeah, still waiting for CHP going up the hill here just outside of Magic Mountain Parkway. But you bring up a good point about the spike strips. I mean, because of the lack of traffic we're seeing on the 5, this would be a great opportunity for them to go ahead of this unit and try to. Of course, there's still traffic, so it's dangerous. But an opportunity to perhaps slow this guy down, because he certainly has not, still 90 to 100 miles an hour.
Right. I just wonder, because the CHP office there is right off of the freeway, literally right off the freeway. And I mean, even if they were going to do something like this, they might not tell us, just because maybe someone would tip this person off. And we certainly wouldn't want that. So,
but this is CHP with Orange County again. So at some point they may be changing hands here or changing jurisdictions. I don't know at what point they may do that. But right now, in pursuit is CHP with Orange County, because remember, this pursuit started near the 405 and 605 interchange in Orange County.
And out here, this is LA County Sheriff's territory and CHP. So hopefully we'll get some kind of intervention here and stop this driver. But in this amount of time that we've been following this driver, what'd you say, Susie, about 30, 40 minutes now? He has gone all the way from about Cal State Long Beach to where we are right now in getting close to Castaic. Covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time, which tells you that he is really, really moving. Yeah,
we gotta wonder again what makes this person run. You know, as far as we know, we don't know much about the driver. We know possible DUI suspect. We know the car is registered out of Texas, not California. We know this driver has been driving over speeds of 100 miles per hour this evening, putting not only the public at danger, but the CHP officers who are in pursuit of this driver.
Gordon, what are you learning now?
Yeah, Susie Nelson, we do see them He is approaching, or he or she approaching the Castaic area. We saw that CHP vehicle get a little bit closer, but still maintaining distance, still just back and forth in the 1 and 2 lane, 90 to 100 miles an hour. Nothing has changed as far as the speed goes. But CHP talking how light the traffic is. That is one benefit they have right now to this pursuit, that there is no erratic driving because of that, because things could really be dangerous if that's the case.
You can see, though, there is a new danger that is presenting itself, and you can see slowly that cars are giving way to more and more big rigs that are on this stretch of road, and that's typical. That's typical in this area. A lot of these drivers are heading towards the Grapevine right here.
That's right, and it gets really dangerous there. It gets narrow and it gets dark. And with high speeds like this, it could be a very dangerous situation for the drivers out there. Not only the big rig drivers, but the drivers who are going up and over the Grapevine. That's always it could be a very treacherous drive if you don't know the area.
Okay, again, you're watching this driver now who CHP attempted to pull over on suspicion of drunk driving. That driver, we're told, took off and has led police on a pursuit all the way from roughly the Cal State Long Beach area, which is at the 405 and the 605, roughly about where they interchange, to now Castaic. And there he goes again, Susie. As you pointed out, he's flashing the headlights
That's
again.
Right. And yeah, we've been seeing this driver intermittently turn his or her lights off and on. We don't know why he or she is doing that, but we have seen that throughout the course of this pursuit. And this is that area where we know it gets really dark, away from the city lights, away from Valencia was the last bigger city with the big lights just down the hill from where this driver is right now. And as he or she is in the Castaic area, of course, after that, the 5 freeway just keeps on going. And it's a really dangerous situation for CHP officers in pursuit, because they have limited, I guess, things that they can do at this point, because they don't want to, of course, lay down those spike strips where they actually can't with high speeds like this, with other drivers around. That's also a very dangerous situation. So they have to just keep on going until they possibly can, I guess, until this driver either exits the freeway at some point or slows down or pulls over.
And it looks like this is the part of the 5 freeway, Gordon, where it gets down to about, what, 2 lanes there? And it looks like a lot of the big rigs are in the right lane.
Fraser Park area ran into a little traffic. Speed dropped to 50 to 60 miles an hour because of this traffic. So CHP closing in a little more, but you can see how really dark it is now in this area as we approach the Fraser Park area.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure if you heard me. I know you're trying to monitor CHP and also maintain your airspace there where you're supposed to be and not supposed to be. But I believe this area here, cutting through Fraser Park and continuing on towards the Grapevine, goes down to about 2 lanes, roughly.
Yeah, you can see right now it's still a 4-lane road.
Okay,
but
it is 4 lanes.
Trucks. There's a big, heavy truck area right now. So that's some of the slowdown, is some of these trucks that are climbing the hill.
Gordon, have you seen any drivers actually
up the hill?
Gordon, have you seen any drivers actually pulling over as this pursuit comes through?
You know, not completely. You can see some of the traffic pulling to the side, but again, these are trucks, so trucks are going to be slower to the right anyway. But we have not seen anybody really pulling over, yielding completely. We've seen him more than anything else, because of the speeds he's been at, 90 to 100 miles an hour, the one that's avoided some of this traffic.
Have you heard anything about other agencies getting involved in this? Right now, it is just the CHP, at least that we know of, correct?
Correct, yes. CHP just continues. They've handed it off a couple times to some of the different CHP agencies, but it has been a CHP pursuit the entire way since it's been on the freeway. And
Gordon, do you know when that next handoff might be? Because I know that we're getting out of our area here as we get into the Grapevine, and we got Avenal, Kettleman City ahead. That's quite a distance away still, but we certainly know that the jurisdiction will change at some point here.
Yeah, I think they'll continue with CHP. I haven't heard any concerns as far as that goes. But you're right, we're really getting far north here. So we're trying to maintain the shot for you as well, as dark as it becomes here.
Sure.
But there's just no sign of him stopping or giving up.
Well, That may not be this driver's choice because eventually, as Susie pointed out earlier, he could run out of gas or he could decide to make some kind of move that's the wrong one and end up crashing or hurting someone else in this pursuit. But right now, CHP has managed to keep this pursuit under control as much as they can, even while this driver is going at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour. Right now, passing Fraser Park was the last place we got an update. Gordon, where is he roughly now?
Yeah, he's stand by.
Okay, we're going to recap a little here. This all started on the 405 and the 605 interchange in Orange County this evening during the 10 o'clock hour. It's a pursuit that started as a DUI suspect. That was the original want. We don't know why he or she is still running. We're not sure if that's the only want, if that's the only offense that he or she is running from. We don't know that at this point. We know that the car is licensed. It's a license plate of Texas and not California. And we know that 4 CHP units have been in pursuit of this vehicle since Orange County. The driver went up the 405 freeway from Orange County near the 605, continued over the Sepulveda overpass, and then continued onto the 5 freeway. And here he or she is tonight along the Grapevine, with CHP still in pursuit.
And as you know, that Grapevine is a long stretch. Not much going on through there as you go through the Central Valley and Central California, or at least make your way up that way. But this driver has managed to continue this pursuit for about 40 plus minutes now, leading CHP all the way from Orange County to where he is now. And again, Gordon Spencer, our Sky 9 reporter pilot here, has to check in every once in a while with CHP and also air traffic control too, to make sure he's safe as well. So that's sometimes what you hear when he's talking to someone else and not us.
That's right. So far, just to guesstimate, this pursuit has been going on for about 63 miles or so. Again, it started in Orange County or Los Alamitos, that whole area, 605 and the 405. You got Seal Beach in that area. Then we continued on north, and we went through West LA and the Sepulveda Pass, Sherman Oaks, Van Nuys, Magic Mountain, Passaic, Grapevine, and here we are. And what you're hearing right now is Gordon Spencer, our chopper pilot, talking to officials to get more information. Gordon, are you hearing anything else in addition to what we have so far?
The only thing we heard just a moment ago from the CHP as they slowly trickle in the details is the original want was he was driving in the center divider on the freeway down there. So apparently maybe there was some heavy traffic and he was, cheating a little bit and trying to get by that traffic. That was the original want, and I guess that's why he did not stop, and that's kind of what started this whole pursuit.
Okay, and again, this is taking up the resources of at least 4 CHP patrol cars, which have been keeping their distance from this driver to keep it under control. They've also had a helicopter with a spotlight on this driver as well. If you've been following this pursuit with us, you've seen this driver mostly stay at, when he could, in the carpool lanes until the carpool lanes ended, and now he just continues to stay in the far left lane.
Freak 5 right now.
As he passes big rigs, semis, making their slow climb up to the Grapevine, but he pretty much has a wide open area to continue this pursuit until there is some kind of intervention by the CHP, or this person just runs out of gas or decides it's time to give up.
That's right. Slow climb for most drivers, but a fast climb for this driver who's been going at speeds of upwards of 100 miles per hour at some points during the pursuit. We also saw during the pursuit sometimes the driver turning off his or her lights, and often during pursuits we'll see that because he or she wants not to be seen by the agencies chasing him or her, but looks like they have their lights on right now. We're going through this dark stretch of the Grapevine still, and at some point the jurisdiction is going to change. I believe in the Bakersfield area there is another CHP office up there, and I've actually seen a pursuit go over the Grapevine like this, and where it gets really dark, and at some point it's just very dark to see out there. You can barely see the cars out there, just the little lights. So it's going to be really interesting to see what CHP officers are going to do tonight.
Yeah, when you drive through that area at night, all you really see are the lights that decorate the big rigs that are following along that highway there, but not much else. You know, if that is a tactic of the drivers to turn off their lights to try to somewhat disappear, it's not very effective. The spotlights are still continuing to follow the driver, as well as several patrol cars, and the brake lights appear to be working on this particular car, so they're still able to track that driver, at least in that way. But right now, this pursuit has been and continues to be very much under control, as much as the CHP can keep it under control as they continue to chase this driver north through the Grapevine now that started all the way in Orange County.
Yeah, and they want to get this driver off the freeway right now, obviously posing a danger to other drivers out there. Obviously, the traffic is really light there, but you know, it could turn into a situation where a driver doesn't see this approaching traffic, or the oncoming traffic, or the CHP officers in pursuit of this gentleman and woman, and we don't know what could happen from there. So obviously a very dangerous situation. They want this person off the freeway, but it poses a very dangerous situation when they are going this fast, and they have limited things that they can actually do at this point.
Right, always a dangerous situation at high speeds. At any speed, when you have a pursuit, somebody is not obeying the law, particularly a person who is suspected of driving under the influence. That just adds to the danger of this pursuit. Thankfully, it looks like we may be slowing down. I'm not sure I can tell from this vantage point, Susie, but it looks like the CHP is starting to close in on this vehicle much more than they have been over this entire pursuit. Okay, they're not completely slowing down, but they have closed in a little bit on this driver. They've gotten much closer now than they were. They were keeping their distance.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm sure the officials, not to speak for them, but I'm sure they're hoping that this driver just runs out of gas at some point, so he or she no longer poses a danger to the public.
Okay, right now we're trying our best to keep with the picture with the CHP and the driver here, but our helicopter pilot is having to hover at this point and stay in this area while we continue to watch this pursuit continue northbound on the Grapevine as best as we can. That originally started in Orange County at the 405 and the 605 area, roughly around Cal State Long Beach. And now he's continuing up through the Grapevine.
That's right. As you can see, it's getting very dark out there, and but the CHP officers still in pursuit tonight. Again, this started in Orange County this evening, 605 freeway and the 405 interchange. Possible DUI suspect. The car is registered Texas and not California. We don't know much about this driver, but we do know that he or she is running from something.
We also don't know if there are passengers involved. Who is driving this vehicle? Police didn't get a chance to pull that person over. Clearly, they decided to engage in a pursuit once CHP did attempt to pull them over. And this person has now tied up these resources in this pursuit for about 50 minutes, close to an hour now.
Quite a long time, exactly. You know, going up to this area, it's been roughly about 70 miles from the Orange County area.